Simon & Schuster Audio presents The 9.9%, the new aristocracy that is entrenching inequality and warping our culture. By Matthew Stewart, read by Sean Patrick Hopkins.
For K, S, and A. 1. Who we are. When you are young, the past seems very far away, and maybe a little comical. That's the way my grandparents looked to me when I was a child. With his slicked back hair, tortoiseshell glasses, and bright red trousers pulled way up high, Grandfather would greet us like he had stepped out of the first color movie ever made. Grandmother usually showed up in oversized jewelry that she invested with many superstitious meanings, drawling like a slightly campy Southern belle. They lived in country clubs, as far as I could tell, mostly on the island of Palm Beach, and those clubs seemed like antique amusement parks to me. There was endless French toast, card games that lasted all day, and lots of funny rules, most of them involving what to wear and when not to speak. Once or twice a year, usually around Christmas or the 4th of July, the family would gather around tables piled high with chilled shrimp and cheesecake, and, in between puffs on his cigar, Grandfather would unwind long stories with enough loose ends to fill a bowl of spaghetti. At around the age of 11 or 12, I learned that we owed our holiday bounty to great-grandfather, Colonel Robert W. Stewart, a one-time Rough Rider with Teddy Roosevelt who made a great big pile of money in the oil business. I gathered that we were very lucky to come from such a distinguished family. Our roots, and my own middle name, went all the way back to William Stewart, a lieutenant in the Continental Army who was seated at the right hand of George Washington. As I entered my teenage years, the comedy of our holidays in grandparent land slowly ripened into farce. The pomp of our clubroom luncheons began to feel tedious and even ridiculous, like an interminable birthday party for people whose main accomplishment was just showing up in life. One day, at the age of 13, I was rushed to an unctuous tailor to be fitted in time for the dedication of a gold-plated bicentennial eagle on which Grandfather had lavished some of his evaporating inheritance. I remember getting the distinct impression that I had become a prop in a ludicrous costume drama. I inspected that cartoonish bird of prey closely and imagined that it must have been stuffed with papier-mâché on the inside.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?